The morning sun cut through a dense layer of mist, illuminating a barren military training ground in golden streaks. Dust hung in the air like a slow-moving storm as a group of young recruits shifted nervously, rifles clutched in trembling hands. At the center of the field, standing perfectly still, was a woman whose presence demanded attention and respect even before she spoke. Captain Elena Marquez, mid-40s, a retired Special Forces veteran, stood tall, her uniform worn but precise, medals glinting faintly in the sunlight. Every crease, every line on her face spoke of battles fought, victories earned, and sacrifices made. Her eyes swept across the recruits, sharp and calculating, measuring fear, hesitation, and arrogance alike. A young recruit, barely 19, raised his rifle and aimed it at the back of her head. The tension was palpable. His knuckles whitened on the grip, muscles taut, teeth clenched, as if his very life depended on that moment. Other recruits froze, whispers trembling on their lips, faces pale with fear. Elena's jaw tightened. She didn't flinch. Her gaze held the weight of countless missions, countless lives entrusted to her, countless lessons learned in fire and smoke. Time seemed to slow as she inhaled, and in that breath, memories of past battles surged like a tide. Flashback, a distant battlefield, smoke thick and suffocating. Explosions rent the air. Elena cradled a wounded comrade, refusing to leave him behind. Each decision carried life or death, yet she moved with calm precision. In that chaos, she discovered that courage isn't born, it is forged under pressure, tempered by experience, and guided by unwavering resolve. The present snapped back. The recruit's rifle wavered slightly, his fear mixed with defiance. Elena took a deliberate step closer, the sunlight glinting off the metal of his weapon. Her voice, calm yet commanding, cut through the tension like a blade. If you believe in courage, resilience, and hope, take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Valley, she said, her eyes locked on the trembling recruit. And ask yourself, have you ever faced someone whose experience and strength you couldn't begin to understand? The recruit faltered. But she's just a woman, he stammered, voice shaking. Just a woman. Elena's tone was a quiet storm, controlled and fierce. I've walked through fires you can't imagine. I've carried lives on my back, made decisions in seconds that shaped the fate of others, and I am still standing. Never underestimate courage that has been lived. Other recruits exchanged glances, the whispers dying in their throats. Respect, fear, and awe mingled on their faces as they realized that what they had thought was a simple test had become a lesson far greater than any drill. Elena's mind softened briefly, and a tender memory appeared. A young girl laughing in the sunlight, chasing butterflies in a garden. Protect those who cannot protect themselves. She had promised her daughter, a vow that guided every step, every choice she had ever made. The promise now anchored her presence here, commanding without threat, teaching without anger. Time stretched. The young recruit's rifle began to tremble uncontrollably. His resolve crumbled under the sheer force of Elena's presence, the calm authority that radiated strength beyond the weapon in his hand. You don't point a weapon at someone you don't understand, she said firmly, and you never underestimate a Special Forces veteran. Not today, not ever. The rifle lowered slowly, almost in disbelief. The wide-angle view of the field captured the tension, dust swirling around boots, training cones scattered, sunlight cutting through morning haze, and shadows stretching long across the ground. Elena's figure dominated the frame. And unshakable, a living lesson in courage and experience. One recruit whispered, I didn't know. His words, quiet yet full of awe, echoed the realization sinking into each young mind. Lessons in life are rarely taught in classrooms, they are lived, seen, and remembered in moments like these. Flashback overlay. Elena's missions flashed before her eyes. Gunfire, smoke, chaos, but always precision, always courage. Every scar on her body, every medal on her uniform, was a testament to lived bravery. She had carried comrades through fire, faced impossible odds, and now faced a different kind of challenge, teaching humility and respect to those untested in life's true battles. The sun rose higher, bathing the field in golden warmth. The recruits stood in silence, absorbing not just discipline, but the deeper truths of courage, integrity, and the quiet power of those who have lived beyond ordinary limits. Elena turned, walking toward the horizon. Dust swirled around her boots as the wind carried the weight of the lesson she had imparted. Her gaze flicked back briefly, a subtle nod of acknowledgement to the young men and women forever changed by this encounter. Her voice, soft and reflective, carried over the field. Some lessons can't be written in books. They are lived, felt, and remembered. Courage isn't measured by the weapon you hold, it's measured by the heart that wields it and the promises you keep. If this story touched your heart, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to Kindness Valley. And tell us, have you ever underestimated someone whose strengths and experience later taught you a lesson you'll never forget? Could you have recognized their courage in time? The camera pans back, capturing the full tableau. Elena walking into the distance, sunlight catching her medals and uniform, recruits standing silently, dust swirling around their boots, and the field bathed in warm morning light. The story ends in quiet reflection. an emotional testament to courage, respect,